Well, how you doing? Larry Mack here with another Zoom call interview. Probably the coolest thing to happen out of the pandemic is the fact that I can look at the musicians while talking to them instead of, seeing them, hearing them over a phone. We're here with guitarist Mike Dawes. He's going to be in Tucson on May 18th, opening up for Justin Hayward of the Moody Blues, doing a solo show. So Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you're an amazing guitarist. You've won Best Acoustic Guitarist in the World 2 years in a row, 2017, 2018. Yeah, you're a young chap, I can tell.
Young chap. I appreciate the word chap as a British guy.
I watch the BBC a lot, so that's. So
nice
how did you get into music? And we'll talk about your journey and stuff and what people could expect at your show. But how did you first get involved with it?
Sure. Well, firstly, great to be here. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Yeah. I'm a British guitar player based over there, but working a lot in the States. My dad is a trumpet player and percussionist, actually, not by trade, but I remember when I was really young, about maybe 6 years old, he was watching the movie The Blues Brothers. You know the Blues Brothers?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
And I saw James Brown doing a backflip or something. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But I really got into that soundtrack, and then it was that plus Rocky 4 was on TV. With all those
soundtrack.
Dude, that's the one. All those synths, all the cheesy stuff. And it's funny. Since then, I've actually become friends with Vince DiCola, who did that soundtrack. So I'm really looking forward to an opportunity to add acoustic guitar to those kind of keyboard shreddy things, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, that kind of set me off on a musical path. And then I got into the guitar much later and just fell in love with it as a vessel to create as a soloist. Because growing up in a small town, there weren't many other musicians wanting to kind of take music super seriously. And I discovered that in the acoustic guitar, once you got rid of the guitar pick, you suddenly gave yourself the ability to play the bass line, the harmony, the melody, and even some percussion on the hollow wooden box all at once. And suddenly you had your whole band at your fingertips. And I kind of went down that path, almost like live looping without a looper. Right. Wow. And I kind of went down that path through various influences over the years. And I've kind of been doing a sort of one-man kind of show all over the world, and particularly quite a lot in the States, in that style. So it's a very unusual way of playing the guitar. Lots of every song's in a different tuning, which is like resetting everything. Where are the scales? Where are the notes? It's like a reset button every time. But the textures and tones and timbres you can get out of a guitar, I'm just obsessed with it, man. I just love it so much. And people seem to enjoy the show, people seem to enjoy the music videos, and I'm very blessed to have had the opportunity to not just play alongside Justin Hayward, playing the Moody Blues hits, bit of Nights in White Satin, makes mum and dad very proud, but I get to open the shows as well, with this guitar stuff. So it's really it's a double night of joy for me every time we get to play together.
Oh, so you're actually, besides opening up, you're actually in Justin's band as well.
Oh yeah, I'm a busy boy. It's like every note, every song, I'm there for that night. If you're sick of this face, then yeah, sorry, that's the way it is.
Now we'll talk about Justin here in a minute. So when you were talking about every song has to be tuned differently, do you have separate guitars for each song, so you have a roadie walk out and hand you, or do you have to tune them in between a little bit?
You know what, on this tour, and for any guitar fans, on this tour, Justin Hayward has, I believe it's 17 world-class acoustic guitars in this show. It is incredible. Every guitar he plays, or almost every song, has a different guitar. There's more songs, but some get duplicated. And this tour is all about him, playing this song on the guitar he wrote it on, or the guitar he intended it to be played on. I have one.
Wow. Okay.
One guitar, and I have one electric guitar as well. We do a little bit of electric, but the tunings come from. I just changed them, and part of an instrumentalist's job in this weird world of live music is to keep the energy up. Mm-hmm. So I do a little bit of cheeky banter, as we would say in the UK, whilst tuning, and everything flows just the way it's supposed to. The biggest fear is a string break, but so far, touch wood, that has never happened.
So how many albums do you have out?
So I have three albums. My first two were studio albums, but then during the pandemic, I actually released my latest album, which I'll be promoting on this tour,
Mhm.
which is a live album, and it's a live album. Yeah, I felt there was a gap in the market during a global pandemic to release a live album, and the album is called Shows and Distancing.
Mhm.
Live in the USA, and it's a dedication to all of the wonderful US audiences, both with Justin Hayward and on other tours that I do, both solo and I just finished a tour with Tommy Emmanuel. I work with him a lot, the best guitar player of all time. You know, what an intimidating guy. If he wasn't such a nice guy, it would be intimidating.
Wow. Well, that
So,
says a lot about you.
oh well, you know what?
Great compliment.
I'm just well. If people enjoy the show, that's great. But I'm British, so we never acknowledge any compliments. They just make us very uncomfortable, you know. But I appreciate the nice words. Yeah. So the live album is Shows and Distancing, and you know I'm really proud of this record. It's captured the show. And that's what I love doing more than anything. In this new world of social media and TikToks and whatever, just being on stage in front of a live audience and getting that real time feedback, that real time energy back. There's not a feeling like it, especially as a soloist when it's just you on stage, full risk, full adrenaline. I love it. That's captured on the record, and I couldn't be happy with it. Yeah.
So there's no backup band behind you. You're not playing to a tape or a loop or anything like that either.
Van Halen live without a net. Yeah, that's it. It's really live with, well, yeah, six strings attached, right? It's really completely live. No nonsense, no tracks, no nothing. What you see is what you get, and part of what I'm trying to do is really demonstrate to guitar players, but not non-guitar players as well. The show that I do is really not just for guitar nerds, you know,
Mhm.
but it coax so much out of the instrument that you wouldn't hopefully believe that it's all coming from one instrument. And the great thing about that is you know the acoustic guitar is a wooden box with strings. And what else is a wooden box with strings? Well, a drum, a cajon. You know, there's a
Mhm.
lot you can do with it. And then I get into all the guitar pedals and all the textures. And man, I'm going off on one. I had a coffee and I'm ready to geek out about guitars today.
That's fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you perform. How long is your solo set?
So I'll be on stage for around 25, 30.
Mhm.
Then we take a short little intermission, and then you know, run back, tune the guitar up with the guitar tech into regular Justin tuning, and then back on for his show. And his show is a wonderful set comprised of Moody Blues hits that people know and love. You know, the big hits will be included for anyone wondering. But also the great thing about it is that because it's stripped down, it's an acoustic show. There's only four of us on stage
Oh, wow.
with Justin. Yeah, we get to play some of these deep cuts that Moody Blues fans have been wanting to hear for years and have never had the opportunity because just the way the behemoth Moody Blues production operates is, you know, so much of it. There's just so much going on to go into those real deep, intimate songs,
Mhm.
and these translate incredibly well as a four-piece. So, you know, the Moody Blues discography is so vast. We're able to go into these records that I didn't even know existed, to be honest, you know, and pull little gems out for the hardcore fans that have been seeing the band for so long. So it's a real nice mix of everything, really.
How did you, I mean, how did you, okay, you look like, you know, your classic rock could be Nirvana, you know, how did you hook up with Justin Hayward?
You know what? It's really funny. So I got an email one day saying, "Hi, I'm Justin Hayward. I'd like to meet you to maybe talk about, you know, joining my band for a US run." And was half asleep at the time. I was living in my post-student dive apartment. You know, I was half asleep after a night out, and I kind of thought it was just a random guy. I didn't. His email wasn't like a Justin at justinhayward.com. It was just a guy's email. You know, it could have been spam or. And I kind of emailed back saying, "Ha." And then he emails again, like, no, for real. And then I mentioned it to my parents, and they were just like, "You stupid idiot! What are you doing? You got to do this." And
Wait. Seriously, you wrote back, huh?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, like things. I don't know why I'm here. It's like I've just done so much stupid things and I somehow landed on my feet so far. So I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, he found out about me through a mutual friend. I think that one of his friends played a show that I was on, and I believe in conversation it came up, hey, I'm looking for a guitar player. Do you know anyone? And my name was thrown into the ring. I went to audition, and we got on so well. I mean, I'm a tall guy, and Justin is a tall guy, and I think he really liked being able to look at his guitar player eye to eye.
Uh-huh.
In his words, he doesn't want to look like a giant on stage. You know, no one wants that.
How
But
tall are you two?
we're about 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, yeah, you're tall.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
6'1", but yeah, 6'3",
Right
6'4".
on.
You're
Yeah.
a few inches over me.
Well, we work well together, but I mean, obviously he would say he likes my guitar playing, but as a British person, I would have to say there's other factors involved, such as we're both British. We can both banter about, you know, Faulty Towers and Monty Python and stuff like that. So we get on like a house on fire. It's a wonderful family experience, this tour. We've had by and large the same crew and group of musicians since 2013. And it just keeps evolving, and every tour we just get that bit tighter. You know what I mean? Like the unit just gets that much more fluid, and it's a thrill. Every one of these tours is a blessing, especially after the pandemic, you know.
So yeah, what was, speaking of that, what was that like? Because, I've spoken to quite a few musicians over the last couple of years, and, it's interesting because you had mentioned it earlier in our conversation. You were talking about the feedback you get playing live. That's why this new album of yours is a live rendition.
Yeah.
I mean, did that spark creativity? Did you catch up on stuff you needed to get caught up on? Or, I mean, yeah, I would think that if you love being out there, that kind of had to be a punch in the gut a little too.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I completed Netflix. I finished it. I did it. Done.
Everything.
Yeah, like a video game, completed it. No, it was it was horrible, man. I mean, it was like for so many, it was a horrible time. And I'm really coming out of it now after a lot of personal changes and reflection, being so much even more grateful for the audiences that come to these shows. And I do make a point even still on stage of acknowledging that and doing a few special things in my show to kind of thank the people for coming.
Mhm.
And together we all relate to that, because every person in that room at those shows has been through their own individual journey of figuring this thing out, you know. And it's so cathartic. Like many people, the tour I just did with Tommy Emmanuel, many people in the audience were coming up to me afterwards saying, this is the first time I've gone out to anything in like 2 years, you know. And just what music's all about to me is about you're giving something out for them to absorb it, get what they need from it, and then give you something back, which
Mhm.
is that energy back. And it becomes this and it's therapy. It's therapy for me as the performer, but it's hopefully letting them deal with their issues as well, or even if it's just forget about their mortgage for the evening, you know.
Yeah.
You don't get that from a live stream or a Zoom concert. You know, I tried, it's not the same. So, and I think the audiences tried it as well. And I
Yes.
think right now, live music is coming back. We're all thrilled, and it's just that much. It's that much more fulfilling for the audience and the performers alike. And you can feel that energy in the room. It's something you can really feel. So yeah, looking forward to seeing as many bums on seats as possible to be part of that for sure.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. You're going to be here on May 18th, and looking at my calendar, that is going to be a Wednesday night, which is going to be a nice night. And the weather isn't too hot here in Tucson in May.
I was gonna say, you know what, with Justin and I have played in Tucson a few times over the years. This will be a new theater. We played at a different venue before, but I know Tucson well, and each time we'd pass through, it would be in the height of summer, and each time the tour bus breaks down.
Oh,
Each time because of the heat. And there's a mad rush to like protect these 17 priceless guitars, you know.
yeah.
So a May tour, sign me up. We're here for it. We're ready
Yeah.
to go.
It's today here. We're in April. For anybody who may be watching this in May, but we're in April right now, and it's about 95 today. So
95. Okay, that's up there. That's up there.
yeah, but in May it could be 95 one day, and the next night it could be, in the evening it cools down to the 60s.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You guys are strong people over there. You know, you come out to shows. You don't take a cab when you can cross the street. I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
You guys are stronger than I. Yeah, I sweat like an Englishman on holiday, man. It's wild.
Yeah, a long time ago, I had a condo up in the Phoenix area.
Yeah.
And the condo below me was like that era's version of a B&B.
Mm.
So they would rent it out every now and then. And one winter, they had a bunch of English people staying there. And
Mm.
it's like January, and they're sunbathing at our pool. And I'm
Oh
thinking,
yeah.
are you crazy? It's freezing out.
Oh yeah. We love it. Yeah, yeah. We're I was gonna say we're made of strong stuff, but it's not that. It's just that we're very grateful when there's any sun. If we can see the sun, it's a good day.
I've heard that, and that's what they told me. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there wearing a jacket because if it isn't 85 degrees, I'm not going near the pool. So
Hey man, I'm looking to move to America, and I'm just choosing where. I have a lot of friends in Vegas, so I spend a lot of time down there. And that I was there one time; it was 120. It was insane.
yep, I used to live in Vegas too.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
Southwest guy. So,
Right
well,
on.
Mike, let's talk about a couple other things. Obviously, you're going to be here on May 18th with Justin Hayward of the Moody Blues, opening for him as well as playing in his band.
Mm. Yeah, double duty.
And you got his new album, Shows and Distancing. But is there a website, social media, if people want to check you out further and check out your
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, my name is spelt, Mike like Mike, and then Dawes. And any platform that you type that into, you'll be able to find me. I'm the British guy with long hair and typically the little blue tick next to it, which lets people know it's the real one. It's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of that. The easiest thing to discover what I'm doing and to understand what I'm talking about when I describe the guitar looping without a looper is to check out my name on YouTube. I have a whole bunch of videos there that explain, and some of them are kind of educational videos as well, where I'm also talking about what I'm doing. So if there's any guitar players interested in learning it, there's a lot of content out there as well as I'm very active on things like Patreon, where I have a community of guitar players and we exchange licks and riffs and ideas and things like that. And actually today I'm meeting up with my manager's assistant here in Nashville, and we're going to shoot my very first TikTok videos. So I'm going to finally get onto that for all the kids. If there's any kids listening, I'll be doing little dance routines on TikTok. I won't really, but there'll be some guitar playing.
So is your website MikeDawes.com?
That's it. You got it.
Okay, perfect.
Easy.
And then I'll look for you. So hey, I'm going to follow you and friend you on those things. So
please do. Let's be friends.
Yeah, we'll be friends, and I'll also I'll do it. I'll pull the trigger and get on TikTok. So
we all have to do it, man.
It'll make my kiddos happy, that's for sure. So
absolutely.
Well, Mike, hold on real quick after this interview is over. I want to ask you one other quick thing. But any other thing you want to say real quick before we wrap things up about your show in May here with Justin?
Well, you know what? It's going to be a very, very special tour. We have a relatively new flute player with us who's joined the band, a wonderful player named Carmen Gould. And she hasn't done any shows with us in that region yet. So we'll be bringing her there for the first time. The cool thing with that is, I'll tell you, man, there's nothing more fun than being on stage playing a shred guitar solo as a duo harmony with a shred rock and roll flute player who's standing on one leg like Ian Anderson. It's a lot of fun. And there's some tunes in the finale of the show which, you guys in the audience will see how much fun we're having. And I hope you'll join us for a nice night of therapeutic music after these strange times, and you'll get some hits and some stuff you won't expect as well.
Well, I'm looking forward to the show again. It's been speaking with Mike Dawes. He'll be opening up for Justin Hayward as well as playing in his band that night, which is going to be on Wednesday night, May 18th, over at the Rialto Theater here in Tucson. You can get your tickets at klpx.com. So definitely looking forward to the show, Mike. Thank you so much for spending part of your day. I'm glad you're not actually in England right now because the time delay would be really crazy. But thank you for taking time with us.
It's a pleasure, man. Great to meet you.